Welcome to another Body Grill podcast. I got a special guest today, and before I introduce him, just want to know I'm a little bit under the weather. It's cold, jumping all over me. We weren't gonna do the podcast, but the podcast must go on. I can go in the house after this, so. But we're gonna do a part 2 to the child support issue. Why should the person paying child support pay more child support compared to either the mother or the father making more money? We're gonna tap in on that. I never had to pay child support, so get child support, I never got it. But we supposed to have the full staff for today, but everybody had other things like that couldn't happen. But right now, like I said, we do have a special guest, Mr. Tonell Harris. We got Mr. Tonell, about 6'9", 6'20", something like that. Tall, but I like about stepping breastplate. But we're gonna get this thing started in a minute. But like I said, now just want to let you guys know we are on YouTube. If I sound a little rough, I'm sorry. I got a bad cold. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Linktree, of course, Facebook. So we're trying to keep this podcast progressing. We will send out more notifications. We got some great topics coming in the next few weeks. I think everybody definitely need to tune in. Like I said, we want to expose people to Mobile. We want to make sure that we get chefs on here. We get, councilmen, everybody, athletes, stars, Shaq, Jamie Foxx, everybody. We're going to get people on here. Today, we're not cooking today. Like I said, we jumped on at the last second. So we will resume cooking next week on here. But we got, like I said, we're going to tap into this child support thing again. Like I said, I know a lot of people still experience it. And is it fair to the person that's paying? So right now I'm going to jump on, let Tonell jump on it. We coming straight out MOBILE-L. So Mr. Harris, what do you think about, in your situation, paying child support? Is it fair or is it unfair? What do you think, so people hear what you got to say?
To be honest, man, it really depends on the situation. I myself, I done seen it on both ends. I seen where sometimes it's needed and sometimes it's not needed. And if a lot of people pay attention nowadays, a lot of women ain't even putting men on child support no more. It's a strain on the whole family, outlook. Because by not being fair, it's because once you start paying child support, and what a lot of people don't realize is, like, these women, they feel like, look, I'm finna get this money, this, that, and the third. What they don't realize is you don't get the money that you think you're gonna get.
Right.
The state is gonna touch that money way before. Say, for instance, you're supposed to get, they give a judgment of $500, $600. Okay. After the state get a hold to it, you might get $300.
A lot of people don't know that.
You might get $300. So a lot of times, what's happening with child support, I feel like they done weaponized it. A lot of women, they use it as a weapon. They feel like, well, I put this man on child support, I'm gonna hurt him. Nah, that's not the case for some men. Like me, I took it with a grain of salt. I think I was 43, I was 22, 23 when I first got put on child support. Mm-hmm. Around that time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was working at a group home, and I think I was making about $8 an hour. By me making $8 an hour, and the mother, guess what? She wasn't even working. But guess what? By her not working, I was still made to pay $400 and like $40-some.
Wow.
So you do the math, making $8 an hour.
Right.
That's no money.
Correct.
That's no money for a man. And another thing with it, when you go to court, the judge, they gonna ask you questions, this, that, and the third. Like, you can tell them, like, I make this, I make that, and I work out. Guess what they do? Well, ma'am, is this all right with you? So you looking like, what the use of you talking to me is?
Right.
What she says, so what I did was, it made me open up my eyes, and it just made me get my hustle up. The only thing, like, I have a lot of people that be like, man, I just work under the table. So what you gonna do that for the rest of your life?
Correct.
You gonna work on the table for the rest of your life?
Correct.
So what I did was, got 2 jobs. So how I beat it. At first, I had two group homes, so I was okay, cool. But once I switched over to the post office, what I did was I made the group home my main income. See, a lot of people they're going now with 2 jobs. I had a lady at the child support place. She come in, she say, "Hey, baby, why you coming in with 2 jobs? You supposed to let one of them go, then come here." I thought about it, like, you know what that made sense. You know they do you 360. Give you 5 days off. So when they look in the computer, I don't work for a post. I don't work for a post office. So when they went in and based it off my income, off the group home, that's my recent child support. Like I said, my last one, and my daughter like 23. I don't even pay child support for her no more. And that's another thing. People don't know. They be like, "Yeah, man, when my child hit 18 is over with." Yeah, but you still have to go down there and file your paperwork to terminate your child support. You have to go down there and file your paperwork to terminate the child support. You still roll. If you got reals, you still got to pay reals. Yeah, you still gonna have to pay your reals.
Yeah, I when I first went for child support, I got custody of my children, and we try to work that out as well. And she wanted the lowest pay, but they were still saying, "Hey, she still got to work that interest that's on the back." I didn't know we had interest on it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you made a good point. I think most women do it to try to hurt a man more because they're bitter, because the relationship been working, or they moved on. So the thing is, they use it as a weapon. Then I think about the kid, I think about their personal feelings. So the thing is, excuse me, like you said, when you get to child support, it's supposed to be exactly what it says, child support. A lot of people, last one we had last week, when I said that it shouldn't be to the point where if you're paying $800 a month and the mother comes to you and say, the next week, "I need some shoes." Well, you get $800 a month. That's not for your car note. That's not for your bills. That's not for your going out with the girls. That's not for you going to eat. That's not you buying presents. That's for your child. That's why it says child support, not mom and child support. So I think if they use the money wise, they'll see that. And then what they'll do to the kid is, if the kid don't get shoes, your dad won't buy you nothing. He ain't no good.
Yeah.
And now you tearing down the father. Yeah. So the thing is, do some guys need build trust? Absolutely, I agree with that. But some of them just don't want to take care of the kids. They don't want to be any part of no kid, none at all. Only thing killed me, I know a friend of mine, I ain't gonna call his name. He probably seeing this and know it. He don't want to pay child support, period. But then as soon as he met another woman, he was taking care of her kids. And I was like, now you deserve to be on child support, because that don't make no sense. You want to take care of your seed. Not saying don't love someone else's kid. Don't. God knows that. So please don't misinterpret everybody. Excuse me. But that's your seed. Take care of your seed. Be in that child's life. That way, that kid will know you and you know the truth. Because see, if you don't be in that kid's life, you're paying child support. First thing, mom will say, "Well, he never came around." Well, the kid gonna say, "Where was mama? Where was daddy?" You see what I mean? That's inexcusable on that neglected parenting. Me, like I said before, and I'll say it again, I think all people should be mandated blood tests, married or not. As soon as that baby come out, blood test. That way, 15 years down the line, that wife will say, "Well, I slept with your cousin." That's a hard pill to swallow. You thinking this whole time, this is my kid. Then next thing you know, come down the line.
There's cases like that.
It's like that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think that should be put in the law. That way it'll stop a lot of these, hidden secrets in these marriages and stuff.
Not only that, I feel like they should have like a system where wherever that card get, they put it on the card now. They should have a system where they could check and see what that money is actually being spent on, because it's to a point now where you, like you say, it's not for her bills and this, that, and third. It's child support.
Correct.
Most women argue, they staying in my house. I gotta pay these bills in the house. Okay, I understand that, but that's kind of like spousal support, paying the bills in the house. This man is here to pay for his child's shoes, clothes, anything he got to do with school. You know,
Correct.
that's what child support is for. It's not for you and this other house and your other kids you got by these other cats or whatever. So I feel like they should have a way to make them more accountability and see exactly where this man's money is going.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, I know one number one problem with child support, a lot of people say, even I didn't have a problem. Man, I don't get to see my kid. I pay this, that, third. I don't get to see my kid. What a lot of people got it misconstrued is, when you go to child support, they tell you, you got a right to see your child. Okay, with that, they tell you got a right. But guess what? It's still left up to the mother. If she don't let you see your child, you ain't gonna see your child. The only way a man can really have her being accountable for letting you see your child, you have to go and file at the down here is Houston.
Correct.
Put in the paperwork, $250 or whatever. That's if they grant you. Guess what? That's joint custody. So now you paying $250. Hey, 9 times 10 you have to get a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And they sometimes they gonna check out your house, this, that, and the third. So you gotta do all this just to be in your child's life. And what that do to a lot of people and a lot of men, it just make them be like, you know what?
Just forget it.
Just forget it. I just pay it, be done with it, and that's it. I had a judge tell me straight up, Mr. Harris, you ain't gotta worry about birthdays, Christmas, and none of that. Those are gifts. But at the same time, as a man and as a father, you be like, man, I can't be like that. But it make you like that.
Right.
Because you look at it, say, like you say, like you might have a whole other family that's taking food at your house. So now you got to hear this from your wife or, you know what I'm saying, your significant other, like, well, she getting this, and. So now you got all this going on. So it put a strain on both ends. So like I tell people, man, like I say, like, you got to muscle up. I hate to say it, it ain't no in around it. You got to muscle up, get your hustle up, and do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to bang 2-3 jobs. That's what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
It's just that simple, but it's not fair. It's really not fair to men. Child support is, in a way, it's not fair to men. They need to have more stipulations on these women because, like I say, the number one thing is a lot of people be like, I can't see my child.
Right. And you know, and that's horrifying because, like I said, the mother used that child as a weapon. Mm-hmm. You know, and then you turn around and tell the kid, your dad should never come around, but you're not telling the whole story that you're stopping the father from coming to see the kid because he probably got another one, or he's moved to a nice house. Because what it is, when you pay child support, a lot of people want to see that other person who's paying child live at home. Mm-hmm. They want to see them suffer. You know, because they want to say, well, you ain't take care of my kid. Well, I'm giving you $800 a month. Yeah. You getting that consistently. It's not like you getting, $250 1 week and then next month you get $100. You're getting $800 every month consistently. That's what you wanted. So the thing is, what they'll do, they'll be so manipulative, so petty, they'll turn around and, like I said, use that child as that weapon towards that father or that mother and say, hey, look, I don't care. No. I heard he did what? He got another car. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I'm only getting $800 a month? Mm-mm. Then they try to go back to court and get more money because you want to see that person broke, in despair, crawl on their knees. Yeah. But the thing is, especially you got a strong mindset, like you said, you got to get your hustle and say, look here, I got to still make sure I'm living. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take care of my kid. All that, actually, let me spend time with it. Yeah. And like you said, you have to go through all those court battles just to get a chance. Because it's supposed to be, 2 weekends out of the month and 2 weeks in the summer, something like that. That's what it used to be. And I know the age is 19. Back then, I think it's 19. Now I think they did that back in March or May of 2022. They changed that law. So I think it's 19 years old now. But the thing is, like I said before, if they put in place a mandated blood test, married or not, mandated blood test, it has to happen. You will find out a lot of these secrets. You'll see a lot of, and then look, especially when you pay child support for 18 years, 19 years now, and then next thing you know, you find a kid ain't yours. If that mother has to pay that money back, guess what? It'll stop so much of this crooked stuff these women are pushing.
Make the mother and the father.
The mother and the father, correct. So the thing is, if they did that at that point, excuse me, y'all, then you would get more people come straight open. Hey, let me get a blood test now because I don't think it's your kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like I said, we talked about the last podcast. I don't know if I did or not, but this young man in Birmingham, if I'm not mistaken, he was 19, the woman was 26, and got her pregnant. So he decided to go to service, come back. You know, she delivered the baby, and came to see his kid, and woman said it's not your kid. He went and got a gun, killed her, and then he shot himself. So I think that's a kid. No matter what, he's still 19. But look how much trauma he just went through. That you played with him. So the thing is, I think if that blood test would have been mandated as soon as the baby came out, or even before, you can still do, I think you do blood tests before the child comes out. Then guess what? You'll know, hey, this ain't my kid. Mm-hmm. We got to talk. Now, if they decide to stay, look, like, you know how some people say, I don't matter what, you know, you go look at some of these court shows, I'm going to stay with some, in real life too, I'm going to stay with this kid. It's my, you know, it's my kid, you know, because, you know, I did as well. So, because once you have love for a child, that love just don't go away because of love. So the thing is, but just don't, as the primary, or what they call it, they get total custody, whatever it's called. If that primary person has custody, that primary person will say, you know what, you got a good dad. I know you're paying child support, I'm going to let you spend time with him. Because I know a friend of mine, he said that, matter of fact, Devin Booker, let's put him in here. Devin Booker lived with his mom. Dad paying child support. As he got a little bit older, mom said, you know, move with your dad. And I said, and that's where he's from anyway. He said, no, you're going to move with your dad. He said, your dad need to raise you. Dad raised him, look where he is now. Dad put him through all kind of training, basketball and everything. You know, and guess what? The mom still invited to come. You know, there wasn't no bitterness in that. So guess what? He still raised that kid, got him where he is in the NBA, and look what happened. Because sometimes I think it's more I can't say heart wrenching, but more profound when the one say, you know, I can't raise this kid. I need you to do. You know, if I was like that, say, you know what, look, I can't raise this kid. I need you. Let's talk. I think it'd be better suited that way instead of saying, you know, just click this child support. You kids, I can't stand it. Just because you want the money. So the thing is, I think that on top of that is that we got to have strong co-parents in these situations. Have to have that. Don't be bitter, people. Women, men, don't be bitter. I've never been bitter. You know, I've always told my kids, love your mother no matter what. Because no matter what, she got scars on her body that y'all came out. You know, because I've seen so many of my friends take their kids against their custodial parent, you know, against the parent that was paying child support, that they hate that parent. They hate it because that's what the custodial parent taught them to be. Yeah. You know, you have to be taught these things. Yeah. You know, a lot of people say, well, you came out of racist. No, he came out of a family that was racist and was taught that. You know, you came out with a family that neglected kids. They were taught that. Mm-hmm. So whatever you put in them is going to come up out of them. They're not going to be just born straight, you know, and God say, you know what, I'm going to make him a racist. Oh, yeah, oh, God, he going to hate every black and Chinese. Woo, special Mexicans. No, it don't work like that. No, it don't. So the thing is, they're being taught. Mm-hmm. And it's like that when it comes down to these single mothers or fathers. I keep saying mothers because I'm a man. Yeah. When they get so bitter, they'll make up all these lies, train that kid, pollute their mind. Yeah. They're not saying, well, dad is paying child support. Dad tried to come to the game, I wouldn't let. Especially when the mother, aunties get involved. That's when it gets worse. Because they're going to make sure they please them instead of make sure, hey, my son, my daughter needs their dad.
Eventually, though, a lot of times, I hate to say it's a time thing. Sometimes the father gets to the point where the child got older and the child, wake up and end up getting a relationship with the father. Or sometimes, like me, for instance, my dad was on child support, and for years, you know, my mom used to say this, that, and the third, about him, this, that, and the third. You know, it took me probably when I was about 23, 30, probably a little bit before then. You know, I realized like, okay, he ain't had bad. You know, right. He ain't had bad, man. Then once I got put on child support, it was like, okay. I see what's rolling, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's what it takes. It might take a little time, but eventually, you know what I'm saying, sometimes child come around and they'll realize, like, okay, this is what really happened, you know. Sometimes you even have mothers that sometimes come back and they'll apologize and be like, look, this, that, and the third, this, your dad, you know what I'm saying? You have, but it ain't no bash, talk about nobody, it ain't the lower percentile when it come down to child support thing, the women that are doing it.
Right.
I hate to say it like that, but it's true, you know. But either way it goes, it's a time thing. Sometimes it might take time, but sometimes some catch on a little quicker, you know. Either you might have some people in that child's life and in their family that tell them, look, hey man, your dad ain't no bad cat, man.
Right,
you know?
right.
Look, man, your mama did, hey, you know. But it's just all in the setting and the people that's around that child, you know. But all together, you know, child support itself is, if people don't realize, it's not really meant here to bring families together.
No, it's not.
It's a money thing. It's a scam, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's a money thing. It has nothing to do with that child. It's a money thing. Cause like I told you, off the rip, the state get their money first. And you feel like the state went with me at work, working these 30, 40 some miles. The state went with me at work, so how in the hell, you know, they get their money. What they did? File some paperwork. You know, it's a money thing. And another thing a lot of people don't know, I found this out later on. If you owe any kind of real, you could be in your life, you know, you paying your child support thing, everything good, you can save that you some money. They'll go on your account and hit you like, you can't have over $5,000.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They will go on your account and take, boom. If you have over $5,000 in your account, they will come take the money that you owe from rears. I don't care if you're paying. And another thing, like you was talking about rears, people don't know something about rears. You can get hurt. Say for instance, you get hurt on your job. You might have another job in line or whatever. You might get hurt on your job, lose your job. The whole time you hurt, you're not working. It's just talent. It's talent.
Interest.
Talent.
Interest.
Yeah, it's just talent. It's just going up. And you might get back to working and you paying child support, and they'll tell you straight up, well, you call down there like, how much I owe this and third? And they hit you with a number, you're gonna be like, hold up, but I pay child support every month. Yeah, you pay child support, you're not paying reals. So what? It's like
it's a scam, like you said.
Yeah, it's a scam. It's like, what in the hell? Like I'm paying this. So what the reals? That's the state money. They want state money. Yeah, she gonna get some of it. She might get a little portion of the real, but the state want their money too. That go back to Tanner, all that stuff like Tanner, what else? Food stamps, all that stuff. You end up paying for that. If she was on any of that stuff, you gonna pay for that back.
Y'all better listen to that.
And a lot of, like I said, a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff about child support. Like a lot of people here like La La Land just thinking, no man, it go deep. It'll catch you deep. It go on your credit.
I ain't know that either.
Yeah, it goes on your credit. It goes on your credit. Child support goes on your credit. It is on your credit. It's like that. Like it hit deep. And like I said, if you owe a lot of money in reals, guess what? You can't travel out of the country, out of the state or nothing. You can't. Savings you in Mobile, I want to go on this cruise, such and go, oh no, sir. You owe this money, no sir. We feel like you trying to run.
Right, oh man.
You can't go nowhere. A lot of people don't know a lot of this stuff about child support. That's what really, like I say, I've been in this game for a while now. So it's like, you told me, like, man, come on. I was like, man, yeah, I can tell you some stuff, man. A lot of people don't really know or don't talk about, you know. They just tell you the outside of it. But no, it go deep. Like, it cut deep. People don't realize how deep it can cut. That's why I told you, like, a lot of women nowadays, they're not even putting in on child support, man. They're not. Because a lot of them know how far and how deep it cuts. It don't just hit the surface of your pockets, no. It go deep, man.
Right.
Like I said, you can be on your way, man, stacking this money. Man, you know they went in my TSP. And they was not supposed to do it, but every man who has a child support case, he has a social worker. I hate to say it. 9 out of 10 social worker than one. Give a damn. When they hit my TSP, they was like, they weren't supposed to do that, they were supposed to stop it. Your social worker supposed to stop it. Man, I ain't even calling in there and waste my time. Because guess what? Them folks just do your paperwork, put it in the file, boom, that's it. They don't give a damn. They ain't worried about you.
Right.
Now, if you press the issue, then that money you don't have to pay out your pocket to find out. You know what I'm saying? But you're not. Nobody is not gonna do that. You're just gonna go on about your way. Okay, let her have it. Let her
That's
have
another
it.
case. The man gone.
Yeah,
It's another
just let
case.
her have it. That's what I'm saying. So like I say, it's like it's not fair, but like I say, it numbs you to a lot of stuff. But at the same time, a lot of stuff it helps you, so you can help the next person.
Right.
Like you might have a son and everything. It helps you out. You know, it teaches you a lot about the world and how stuff is really ran when it come down to that child support thing, man. You know, they talk about your president, but he is anti-child support. Believe it or not, that man crazy, but he is anti-child support. I mean, it's a scam, man.
Yeah.
It is a scam. It's a big scam that a lot of women know, and a lot of women don't know, and some women know and just don't give a damn.
Right.
They just don't give a damn because it's a big Ponzi scheme to me, man. It makes no sense to me, you know.
Let me ask you this thing. I've seen where, so like I said, some guys couldn't see their kids. They put themselves in child support just so they could see them. Does that skip all those other fees or go straight to the point where they start seeing their child?
When you go put yourself on child support, it's still the same thing.
Same thing.
It's still the same thing. You have to basically file for joint custody. You have to file for joint custody to make that lady mandated to let you see your child. Because at the end of the day, it's just like you being on child support with her. You just putting yourself on child support. Yeah, they tell you have the right, but at the end of the day, it's still left up to the mother to let you see that child. It's still left up to her. But if you go joint custody, it's a court order. It's ordered. She ain't got no choice.
Right.
If
Yeah.
she don't, you call police.
But so you just hit that on the head. That's the thing I was looking for about the joint custody part. And I agree with that. I think that, especially as a good parent, should have joint custody.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I know it has to be an agreement. Like I said, the judge and our lawyer have to discuss all that. But I really think the joint custody is a key thing, especially if you got a great father who wants to be there.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, when you get a lot of women that's manipulative, and I have to keep saying that, and because I've seen some of our friends go through it. Like I said, I never went through it because I got cussed my children, but I was on the flip side of that. But with them, like I said, they try to go to their kids' game and try, and the mother would even let them know about it. And the thing about it is he was paying child support. So the thing is, you banned him from his kid from seeing a game. First thing the kid said, "You never came to my game." I didn't know. Well, you should have tried harder. Mama said you should try harder. How can you try harder with that? She has a schedule. She has the practice time. She has all that. And the thing about it is, you're trying to make that new boyfriend the father and leave him out. And he wants to be a part of that life. So the thing about it is, I think that they take the emotions out of it and the bitterness and say, you know what? Like I said before, I stated earlier, saying that, hey, he needs to be in his son's life. He needs, because she disobeyed. You put a traumatize on that kid, and that kid, you keep telling him, well, no, your daddy come. No, your dad no good. You, like I say, you traumatizing that kid. So she knows she's going to hate her dad for a reason. Because of a lie and bitterness. So, like I said, that's why I said I think it should be mandated on that blood test. I think it should be, if they're going to split up, get that joint custody, because a lot of mothers go for the primary custody because they so bitter. I mean, I don't want to see them come around. That ain't gonna do this. You don't think. So I think about the child. So the thing about that's why I say a child support. I mean, we got to support this kid no matter what. So, like you said, and a lot of the mothers, I heard about that state thing. Child with Dre Jakes about that. He was talking about that the other day. He's supposed to be on here today, and he was talking about that state thing and everything as well. So, like I said, I've never been up. I know a bunch of friends of mine went through it. I mean, man, they went through it. I mean, they took their bonus checks, their income taxes. No matter what they tried to get, they was taking him to the police. And I'm like, wait a minute, how you paying $400 a month? Then they take your whole income tax check. You paying child support. You see, that don't make sense to me. You taking his income tax, but he paying every month on time. You taking his bonus check he got, but he paying every month on time. Like I said, that's when it comes to scam part. So the thing is, like I said, now how can he live? Now you put him in a better situation where, hey, how can I survive?
Damn for do, damn for no.
Right. How can I survive? I can't survive. But then think about it, like you said, a lot of the mothers use that for their primary income. And I this is one thing I hate to hear. Y'all can bash me or not. I carried that child 9 months. You were supposed to.
Yeah.
It ain't like you say, you know what, I'm gonna pick 6 months to stay. No,
Yeah.
your full term is 9 months.
Yeah.
So the thing is, what, that 36 weeks, whatever it is, 42 weeks, whatever the weeks is, I might be wrong, but the thing is, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So don't use that as a excuse or what. You're supposed to carry that child, help the kid. You have to start having premium, that's when you have to start having some issues.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, and I've heard too many women say that. I carry my child 9 months. He deserved to pay. You're supposed to carry 9 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
That's the way God designed it. It ain't like, you sit and say, you know what? It's been 7 months. I'm swelling, my feet hurt. I got bad gas. Oh, this baby come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
It don't work like that. So, don't use that as an excuse. Especially you use that against that father in the conversation. I've heard that, like I said, I won't call nobody's name. I want to keep everybody. I've seen go through private.
Yeah.
But like I said, me and a friend of mine riding the car at the time. And he wanted to use payphone. We didn't use payphone, so I got him come. And he wanted to go see his son. And the girl's like, no, blah, 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 blah. I got scars on my body. You don't. I got this. You don't. But he took the seed. He didn't even have that. But the thing about it was, she was so bitter because he had moved on. Because they had the kid, they were just really friends with benefits.
Yeah.
So the thing was, when her feelings caught, and the baby, of course, you get attached to the kid, that's where it happens. But he didn't really want that. But he knew as a kid, I wanted to spend time with my kid. So she used the kid against him. And it was to the point where he was just ready, got to the point, sometimes he would call somebody, I just want to go there and kill him. I said, oh, no, don't do that. Yeah, that's stupid. Don't do that.
That is not the route.
That's not the way you go. What you prove?
Nothing.
Now you just took a parent away from this kid. That's just go to court and all. He's like, man, I shouldn't have to do that to see my kid. Yeah, but like you said, that mother got primary custody. Mm-hmm. You got to try to do something to get you in your favor.
That's why I feel like it should be more stipulations, more stricter things to put towards women on it, because how men feel like, man, she just go down there and be like, I want this, and they just take my money. Yeah. And for a man, it's, in order for you to get this, you got to go through this, you got to go through that, you got to go through that. So I feel like I say, it should always be a tap or a balance of some way I can see where this money is getting spent, and not only that, automatically once you pay child support, they should make it court order that I can see my child. Not this, you have the right.
Right.
Not once, like I tell you, you have the right to see your child. Not it's court order through the court that I can see my child. It should automatically be that, hey, you have to see your child. Matter of fact, we're finna sit in here, we're gonna coordinate y'all days right here before we leave out this court. Mm-hmm. But that lets you know that they don't care about the family basis of this. They just worry about the money.
Let me ask you this. Is it more the black family or just any family?
I hate to say it. When you really, really think about it, you can go back back in the day when Section 8 first started. Mm-hmm. You remember they used to be like, well, man, y'all she stay in this house, but can't no man stay there.
Yep.
What sense does that make?
Right.
What sense does that make? Can't no man stay there. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? We got you. We finna make it where the woman feels more independent, and we're gonna take this man up out of here. We're gonna get him up out of this picture. So I hate to say it, in a way it seemed like it was targeted towards us, but in the way it was and the way it wasn't, because it ain't just black folks going through this. Yeah, I've been down that child before. It seemed like a lot of us in there, but it's some white men going through it too. But it's more of our race that's, have the aspect of our women going down there and bashing us. That's I hate to say that, but yeah. It's kind of like, it's kind of true and it's kind of not, but I hate to say that. It's kind of messed up.
Well, I think it was triggered toward taking the father out the home. Because back in the day, you had those two parents, that strong parent. You had the strong discipline. And I'm throwing the race out there. The black race was a strong race growing. We stuck together. We all did. But now, since all this separation out of the home, there's no parents, and all single mothers now. Like you said, that Section 8, that was a good point. I never thought about that. I did, but you put something, they put a light bulb on. Like I said, if you found a man, his shoestring in there, they'll put them on.
Yeah, they put them up. The whole
So now you
out.
put them on the street.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like you said, I think that it did take away from that strong household where there were great morals. Our race was growing strong. We had those strict boundaries. Our kids are speaking well. Now, since everything been taken out the home, now you got the kids paying this, they cussing, they doing this, everything on site. My dad wasn't in my life. You hear a lot of kids say that. But like you said, a lot of mothers triggered their minds to turn against that man when they did that too. Like I said, made them more independent. Now, I don't need no man. But see, like I said, the picking order is God, man, wife, and the kids. So the thing is, now it's God, the girlfriend, wife, then the kids. So the man been taken out of it. So now, like I said, there's no discipline structure. So that child support and that Section 8 took a lot of that away. So and then it puts the mindset, instead of that person saying, look, I want to build a house.
Yeah.
Sure, I'd really give me a Section 8.
Yeah.
So now your mindset is so blank.
Yeah.
You have a broke man mindset. So now it tears out through the kids. Same for city example you're setting. Dad is out of here. Mama teach me against dad. I got this section now. I'm getting food. I'm getting this food stamp and all this. So what I need a man for?
Yeah.
So now there's a structure from the kids growing up to be a strong kid, morals and everything, because of they've been taken out of. That starts with a lot of that child support, like you said, because they how to weaponize toward that other father. Like I said before, we gonna reiterate. There are some fathers that need to be put on child support.
Oh yeah, I firmly agree. I know a lot of cats. You be like, man, hold up, man, you need to be put on. Just being men, and just be like, I just zip my mouth on it, And I done seen some men that don't do squat and have all the rights towards their children.
Mm-hmm.
I done seen that too, But it goes back to the mother, It goes back to her. At the end of the day, it still goes back to the woman. So, like I said, I've seen it on both ends. I've seen the good and the bad. But like you say, it is some men out here that you be like, man, you need to put you on the paper.
Right.
You like ASAP. You need to be on there ASAP. And another thing, like for these people who feel like I can just run from them. Bro, you would never ever in your life, I don't care if you 67 years old, if you ever had any kind of job and you use your Social Security for any kind of job, I don't give a damn what you use it for. Guess what? They come and get that money. They come and get that money.
You get on somebody's payroll.
Yeah, even on your death bed, your Social Security, they come and get it.
Mm-hmm.
So running is not the clue. That's not gonna get you nowhere.
Right.
So all these cats be like, man, I ain't worried about it. Nah. Once you get put in that system to be on child support, your Social Security number is a weapon against you.
Yep.
It's
You
over.
got to use it.
You got to. And then, like I say, it gets to the point where some people get their license suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who is on to get your license back on? The mom. Especially if they come get you and lock you up for jail. Guess what? She can go down there and tell me, hey, look, don't worry about it. I don't worry about paying the risk. Just let them out. She can do it. But a lot of them ain't gonna do it. They're gonna let you sit down there, and how much money you gonna make in jail a day?
Mm-hmm.
So it's shot out. It's bad. It's shot out. So.
And the thing is, like I said, when it tears the mindset up, then it gets to the heart.
Yeah.
It gets back to the mindset. And what it says, issue life flows from the heart. So guess what? When that heart's to it and that mindset to it, he crashes out.
Yeah.
So now, especially the good father. But like I said, now you got these young ones, that's go kill a baby mother because she won't be with him anymore. And what have you proved? Nothing. So the thing is, it makes it bad. They're not even on child support.
No.
They go on there because guess what? They're not being taught in the home to have respect. Not being taught in the home to have responsibility. You know, a lot of, like you said, a lot of got being taken the father out the house. A lot of that being taken, not let the father spend time with their child, help structure their child. If y'all are separate or y'all had a kid and not getting married, I think you should come together and say, hey, look, this I'm going to teach him, but let's teach him this. Let's come to that. That way you put a structure in that kid. Yeah, we're not together. We're going to be the best co-parents to make sure our child come up right. Then you'll see them out the streets. You'll see them say, hey, you know what? Where y'all going? I'm telling, look, I had friends of mine put me out on First Avenue, 45, you name it. I said, look, we ain't had no cell phone there. I said, where y'all going? I said, I thought we were going to shoot some ball. Nah, man, Junebug over here, man, tripping me. We going to get him. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't even know Junebug. Man, I told you not to pick him up. Then put me out the car. Guess what? Let me out, bro. I would walk, beat dogs all the way to the house. Guess what? I got to the house safe. Because I thought my mama said, if they going to do something that got nothing with you get away from them. And I got out of that. See, that's what need to be taught to kids today. What you mean if you go kill what you got? Man, it's on sight. Because the kids so coward.
Man,
you want 5, 6 go down with you.
You know what? You know what the problem is? It ain't no more me, my and great grandmama and great grandmama, and you know it ain't no more of that. Right now, grandmamas is 40, some of them 30. You know, some of them, you know, it ain't no papa. You know, that's 50, 60 some years old. You know, it ain't no more of that. And it's not just that. It's like they said, take a village to raise a child. You remember back in the day in the community, you can run down the street, you can trip by and Miss such and such call down there and to your grandma and your mama or whatever, and they'll tell her, beat your ass when you come back home. But nowadays, you know, everybody on some, I just mind my business. You know, it ain't no more, I'm finna do this, I'm finna mind my business, you know. Then it can, like I said, go back to grandmama or great-grandmama being 30, 40 some years old, she still feeling like she young, you know, she wanna pop it, you know.
If she's 60 or 70,
yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying. So it's no more the old back in the day.
Ain't no more James Evans.
Yeah, it ain't no more of them. Nah, that is gone. You know, that's one problem. But then too, like I say, it's a problem, but it's kind of like up to like our generation who had that. To you know, that's why you know it's a couple of kids out here who do make it and make it out there. You know what I'm saying? Struggle because we was raised on them morals and the basis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a 50-50. What they say, basically, it's still damn if you do, damn if you don't, man. It's all in the game, man.
And, you know, one key thing that's not happening. Sorry, y'all. The praying stopped.
Oh man,
when
they took it out of school.
Absolutely. When they took it out of schools, the grandma don't pray anymore. Mama's so frustrated she don't pray anymore. Dad so busy worried about all the other stuff, about child support, this and other. I make sure my son plays sports, make the NFL, take us all out the neighborhood. They're not praying anymore. And I think that's what happened. Praying, like I said, and that took a lot out of the school. Can't play as a leader, which I'm cool with that. When you took the prayer out, that's why I had the issue. Because the thing about it is, we used to pray in school, and that school day was beautiful. Because there was a covering. God put a hedge of protection over that school. Nowadays, you got kids coming on school campus shooting up everybody and all this stuff because an atheist had it taken out. An atheist, and everybody went along with the atheist. So the thing is,
it was a business decision,
right? So the thing is, you know, when they took the prayer out, that's when everything started crumbling. You know, and that's what happened when now the grandmas don't pray anymore. Like I said, grandma trying to be just as young as the kid to fit in with them instead of the kid fitting in with her. So the thing is, instead of grandma say, look, don't do that. Don't wear them short pants. Grandma said, this is what I'm doing now. Hey, come here. Let me talk to you. Yeah, grandmama, where you get the pants from?
Yeah.
They got my size?
They got my size?
See, that's what they doing now. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So when they did that, it took all that away because guess what? There still isn't that strong father in the household.
Not only that, these, I hate to say it.
Oh God, I was just say that too.
These right here, and social media. I told somebody one day, I said, if social media was a crash for at least 2 months, what you think would happen in the world?
You see people jumping off the bridge.
It would be like they wouldn't know what to do with themselves, man. I seen some on my Instagram came up a while back. They say after a while, a couple of years, men itself gonna develop a hump in their back, and we all gonna be walking around like this, because this is all we do all day. All day. This is all we do all day. So I said, man, if social media was to crash, or these phones, we go back to the landline. Like, it's crazy. A lot of kids don't even know what a landline or wireless phone is. Like,
a payphone is.
Yeah. So if it ever was to go back to them times, man, a lot of people, like you say, gonna jump off a bridge. They ain't gonna know what to do with themselves, man. It's crazy. But like I say, this one of our biggest problems. This social media, man. People want to say video games. Video games have been around forever, man. Hey, we were playing Street Fighter and all that, man. We still were going outside, having fun.
How many times you see kids outside shooting basketball? Maybe at a point in time you had to blow the horn. Get out the street. Get out the street. Get out the street. Get out the street.
Christmas. I sit up and I be like, hey, man.
Everybody had a bicycle.
Look, I was at work one day at my other job at group home. I seen a group of kids riding on the bike. I was on the phone. I was like, brother, guess what I see? It was like, it was just something that you don't see. It's like, man, these kids ain't riding bikes. They outside.
Now, if I go around the corner here off Ren, well, I mean, anyway, around the corner from my house, those kids always outside shooting ball. They're going to have more structure than anything. You know, man probably can't afford. They ain't got a point to afford itself. They outside working their craft. They outside playing like it's supposed to be. Used to be a point where, like I said, you'd be outside all day playing football. You couldn't go by yards and start playing football. Start shooting basketball. Now, like I said, you go to a park. Now, nobody on the basketball court.
You didn't have a cell phone. How you knew where everybody was at? You go in the neighborhood. Oh, this was all the bikes in the yard. Okay, everybody over such and such house. Okay, we over here.
I remember growing up in Trinity Garden and TG. I remember growing up in Trinity Garden, and if somebody's house caught on fire, the whole neighborhood walked over there too. They were like, man, what's called house caught on fire? You see everybody there. You know, praying everybody got us safe. Now you get on the phone, man, let's shoot around the corner. This man, God, right by us. Man, you got somebody always on the film. You know, and that's the thing, you know, and I know we get a lot of track a little bit, but I hate to see, because it's really incorporated what we're talking about. I really hate to see when they see somebody getting beat up, especially by police, and they ain't helping. Then I saw one, and I didn't know where it was going. The girl said, I'm pregnant. So he threw her on the ground again. She said, I told you I'm pregnant. He shot her 6 times and killed her. The guy, oh my God. Then he took off running. But you sat there and watched her get murdered instead of calling the police and say, hey, man, this man over here trying to kill this girl. So, like I said, social media, everybody wants that 5 minutes of fame. And like I said, that's because there's no more reading. There's some, which we instruct our grandkids. We make them read. Well, you know, Chris does. You know, she make them read. Make them do math by hand. So the thing is, now you go to class now, they doing everything on laptop.
Laptops, iPads. It is what it is. It's to the point kids don't even got to read. They can just go in there and do a book. The book article, and they read it and they just listen to it. You know, and it's like I say, these man, it killed us.
Matter of fact, you know, when I went to pay a ticket, well, take care of the ticket, and I even saw a lawyer. He was just right here, and I knew he was going to the child support court because he was the person sitting next to him. He hit that phone and talked to him like this.
Man, look, I went to church. I went to church. I want to say that was Easter, and it tripped me out because pastor was calling out Bible verses. I looked, like, older people had tablets. I was like, I thought about it, like, after I was like, man, this is crazy. Ain't nobody opening up the Bible, you know what I'm saying, spinning and finding straight in the tablet. I said, man, this is crazy, man. It's over. Everything is God.
Well, like I said, I still go back, like I said, the structure of the man in the home.
Yes.
When I was a kid, my dad let us know, you got this much time on the game, it's time to get off. My mom said, you got to work in the yard. You got to do, it was a strong, structured house. So now, since there's no more structure, now this becomes the child's father.
That's what people do now to their little kids. Getting them tablet.
So, you know, and the thing is, don't get me wrong, it does have some interesting that they can learn from if they learn the right way. Excuse me. But a lot of them aren't used for that. When that child wakes up to that thing, going to that thing, and then go to sleep with that thing, you know, it's an issue.
That's a problem,
So, you know, but thing like I said before is, I think if, I have to go back and say it was a mandated blood test, every child, married or not, you would stop a lot of manipulation. You know that's your kid. You would know, hey, this, yeah, I would pay child support, I would this, but I'm gonna take care of mine. You know, that's just me. I'm gonna take care of mine. So, if somebody came to me right now and said, well, this is your son. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, you should have known. How do I know that? You know, so the thing about it is that happens a lot as well.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when like I said, we use that child support against that kid, against that parent, it takes so much away from that co-parent. It takes so much away. They don't think about the child. They think about themselves, the bitterness. A lot of times, the father just, I ain't paying no much. I don't pay no much. I pay a child. I pay it. Once I get through paying, I still don't have nothing to do with the kid. You know, and that's horrifying too.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a minus for that child. It's just that child wants to spend time with you, to know you. You know, so I think that moral value of using child support against that parent, or even like I said, because you got to pay, the parent get bitter, the man get bitter. Man, I'm paying child. I don't have nothing to do. No, I know it ain't my kid. But you paying? They making me pay child support. Go get a blood test. Get a blood test.
It'll turn you cold. Like I told you, a judge told me, Christmas, birthdays, and none of that, you ain't got to do it. Those are considered gifts. So, for a man that's already paying child support and that there, like I said, you'll go back, you'll be like, I ain't finna buy no Christmas, I ain't finna buy no birthdays. But when you realize and you really think about it, it's like, you're not doing that for you. You buy Christmas and birthdays for that child.
Correct.
That child want to see, okay, Daddy bought me this for Christmas.
Right.
Daddy bought me this for
I
my
agree with
birthday.
that.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with that.
That's what that's for. But once the system tell you yourself, and you looking at it from the system point of view, I'm paying this money, I'm paying this, man, I ain't finna do no Christmas. I ain't finna do no birthday.
I agree. That part, I mean to cut you off. That part, I would do agree. I think, yeah, birthday, yeah, you still should buy.
Yeah.
Christmas, yes. But like I said, if it's an everyday need, you know, you get $800 a month, there should be some money put away to buy those shoes, to buy those pants. Don't get $800 a month and then turn around next week and say he needs 4 pair of pants, 3 shirts, you know, some Jolly Ranchers and 2 Coca-Colas.
That's why I said go back to they need to be able to see work they're doing with that
Correct.
money at all times on their card. They should be able to see and know. Just like you get a bank statement. You should get a statement for child support. Listen, this is what you spent on your card, and they should make your social worker really work. They looking at your bank statement, or either they can have it where they can put you can put a computer program. Okay, well she's spending dot on this. Oh, okay. Okay, this for the child. Oh, that one for the child. What? $400 card note. What? You just paid Keisha?
Yeah.
No. And when that happens, it's a red flag. Boom. We back in court. Ma'am, you just spent such and such at Keisha or whatever. Either pay half of that back or you can pay it off. It should be something like that.
Correct.
It should be some kind of penalty towards that. But it's not.
No, right.
And that's one of the big problems. Like I said, man, if they can make them accountable for a lot of that, man, it'll be so. You trust me, it'll be a lot of women not going down there no more. They'll be like, nah, man, ain't no child. They ain't got strict. They make you do this. They make you do that. No, and it won't be weaponized no more. Then that's gonna turn to the point where now you gotta communicate with the father. Now you gotta put on your grown man draws, your big girl draws, and y'all gotta communicate and act like adults and make this thing work.
Right. For the kid.
It ain't no more. I just put these folks in this and they gonna handle it. It won't be no more of that. If they put more stipulations and made it more stricter, it'll be just like that. It'll be more of a, it'll go back to the family thing. But like I say,
this world is very wicked.
yes.
The thing is, like I said, we got to teach. You know, you need that to parents. Teach that child, hey, don't go to this area of town. Don't go this. Don't do this. Don't do that. Hey, make sure you don't do this. Look, don't go to that store. Hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
But you know, you got a parent with a child, and the dad is in the picture. Because you know, she bitter. He paying you on more child support than that child with mama. Hey, I don't go to that store. Don't go to that store. I'm going anyway. Wait, who here act just like his daddy? See, that's no structure.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it has to be a point where they say, look, let's come to a common point. I know you're paying child support, but I need this time for you to be with your son, your children. Hey, let's get together. We didn't have to spend picnics together, nothing like that. But even if they got somebody significant other, okay, let's come together. We need to raise these children properly.
Yeah.
You know, because the thing about it, it's about the kids, and when we take the focus off of that, it becomes about yourself and your selfishness and your penance. And that's when the kids start going different directions. That's when they start robbing people. That's when they start breaking the car. That when everything on sight. That when they go kill somebody, they finally get behind bars and realize, you know, my son's a good boy. He's a good boy. He would have pulled that trigger. Just to impress his friends. So that's what ended up happening. You know, I watched the movie one time. He said, my family, you know, the boy left his mom and mom because she was giving him some instructions, this and everything. My family, my boys in the streets. You know why? Because your boys street let you know it's easy to go do this stuff here. You don't have to have no structure.
Yeah.
They were, and guess what? The kid ended up killing somebody. His boys ran. He ended up going to prison. He didn't want to rat him out.
Yep. I teach with my son all the time. I tell him straight up that they my oldest son, they look at him, they call him Mr. Trim because he always put on good clothes. His mama make sure he have on the best J's, he stand the third. He the man. I told him, I said, look, I said, you're going to have friends that's your friend, and you're going to have friends that you thought was your friend, and you come out and find out later on they was one of your biggest haters.
Yep.
They was one of your biggest haters. I said, man, you can watch for the signs. I tell them all the time, I said, you got to watch. You got to watch who for you and who not for you. Like right now, he got a little situation going on. One of his partners hang with some cats that don't really deal with him. I said, man, look. I said, I understand that your friend is down the third. I gave him a brand new 22 Mitsubishi. It's you. I said, I gave you this car so you'll never be in a situation where, man, I'm waiting on such and such. I need to, he won't get ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I gave you that car for that. I said, but it's also a responsibility. I said, because you never know what your partner got on him.
Yep.
In that car. He could throw it under your seat.
And you're in the bed. He go down, you going with it.
And when the police be like, well, who was it? If he don't speak up and say, yeah, that's mine, that's what y'all going to jail.
Yeah, that's what y'all
and you know you don't smoke, you don't do shit, guess what? And you going to be sitting in that hole cell looking at this nigga like, man, wow, I thought you was mine. But, like I said, it goes back to us telling and putting stress into our child and letting them know the stuff that we basically went through. So, like you say, it's like I said, it's basically on us, man. It's on us to bring these old moral values back to a new world that's
praying.
Yeah, that's bringing this new ideology to these kids that's, you know, basically trying to make their own decisions when that's not the case. I don't give a damn if you're 18, 19 years old, you're still a teen.
Right.
I don't give a damn what the world tell you that you're grown at 18 or 19 years now. Your brain, your frontal lobe ain't even developed all the way. Right now, they got it where kids can go get their permit at 19. Okay, my son when he had a permit, I let him get it. But you can't even buy a gun. You can't buy a gun until you 21. But your parents can gift the gun to you and tell you this is yours. They give it to you, but it ain't nothing you can do really. I told my son straight up, I said, that's a setup. It's a setup. When you think about it, this is a setup. Yeah. You 18, 19 years old, you got to permit to carry. If folks about your gun or whatever, now you out in the back. Like I said, their frontal lobe ain't even developed yet. They get mad first thing they want to do is grab that gun.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happened. A bunch of kids got their guns taken at a beach. Some of them had permits and all this, then the third. But a lot of them guns, like I said, when they get permit, they feel like, man, you go buy a gun from me anyway, I can do this because I got to know. Don't go buy, I told him straight up, don't buy nothing off the street. Nothing. I bought it. He got a gun right now. 19. But I did not give it to him. You won't get that till you 20, 21.
Mm-hmm. And see, here's my thing, too. You know, and I've always said, they're waiting on an excuse to use it.
Yeah.
You call them a chocolate donut.
Yeah.
He called me a chocolate donut. Matter of fact, there was a lady who was having about maybe 10 years ago. And she was riding out in the car, and the dude had his feet hanging out the window. And her daughter was laughing. Little kid, about 8 years old. So mom got to the next area, like, dude jumped out the car and shot the mom, killed her. And said, nobody laugh at me. Nobody laugh at me. You know why? He had a gun, riding around, had nothing to do with it, ready to use it. If you protect yourself, I get it. But a lot of them get it, they're just waiting on an excuse. So the thing is that, you know, like I said, that still goes back to the structure of the home. If that father's teaching them, hey, this is what you do, this you do. Don't be doing it on record. Don't do this. If your friends gonna do it, get out that car. If your friends call you a punk, so what?
Yeah.
You know, hey, walk away. Trust me. I did that so many times. A lot of my friends dead, in prison or in jail. I mean, in prison, or, you know, they're not here.
Yeah.
So, and I do see some of them, but I lost a lot of them. And there was a lot of them I walked away from. So, you know, but I was taught that structure in the house.
Yeah.
One no child support on my parents, you know, but they were that old, like I said, that old school, hey, you married till death do us part. That's gone out the window. And that'll be another podcast. But, okay. So, the thing is, like I said, we're about to wrap this thing. Anything else you can say?
Man, no, man.
Okay, we're about to wrap this podcast up. And we want to thank everybody who's watching. Continue to follow, like, and share. We are on YouTube now. Type in By the Grill Podcast. Hit the icon. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell. We're on Linktree as well. We're also, of course, on Facebook. And we're also on Instagram. So we're really progressing with this podcast. Like I say, we're trying to put information in your mindsets. Something to make you go back home and think, wow, that's what we want to do. You know, like I said, I want to expose a lot of people in Mobile because we got a lot of talented people here in Mobile. You know, I like to have some ministers on here. We like to have some cooks on here, have a cook-off. You know, have some sports figures. You don't have to talk about sports to have someone on here that's local in Mobile. You know, have some little young kids about to go to college. We'll have a lot of people on here, you know, that people see what's in their mind. So I want to thank my buddy Tonell,
For sure.
Mr. Harris. So, you know, great podcast, man. Good information. I know y'all got a lot of ideas. So he woke me on stuff I didn't even know. So, you know, but like I said, continue to like, follow, and share. And like I said, we're on YouTube. I said again, Instagram, Facebook, and Linktree. Go to the page, you'll see the icon, you'll see the QR code. Hit the QR code, you can get right on Linktree with us. So, again, until next Sunday, as always, when the spatula goes down, podcast is over. I'll be good.